today I'm stuck up here and on this trail. Well guys, taking a bit of an off-road trail. We got an overheating issue. That's a bummer. But it's pretty. Alright guys, Pastor Matt is back. Only this time it's not the Jeep, it's his truck. This is a 2018 Chevy Silverado 5.3 liter, and we are changing the oil today. So enjoy the view behind you. I came up here, I left first thing this morning, took a little ride up to this area, and I overheated the Jeep. Not a big deal, I don't think. It's all downhill from here, but I also left my phone on my nightstand this morning because I wasn't thinking clearly. So hopefully it's not a big issue. We'll find out momentarily when we're done with this video and we try to shoot home, as long as it cools off enough. But yeah, let's hope for the best because I gotta get home. I came up here early because I gotta get home because we have a an appointment for the little one this morning. So hopefully all is well. We'll find out. That's what you get for owning a Jeep, right? Anywho, back to the truck. Today we're doing some basic maintenance. You can do this on the ground. You don't even need a jack stand or anything. You can crawl under there. Changing the oil on this truck is one of the easiest oils I've ever changed. It is set up very nice. Chevy did it right. There's nothing to it. So as long as you've got your drain pan, your new oil, and a new filter in place, grab yourself a wrench. I don't remember what size at this point, I'm sorry. But grab a wrench, crawl under the truck, and right behind that front cross member, you're going to find the drain pan for the oil with the drain plug and an oil filter immediately next to it. Super easy, very well laid out by Chevy. So you're going to go ahead and put your drain pan under the drain plug, of course, and pop that drain plug off. It's going to make a mess. It's going to splash a little bit. Do the best you can. Once it is draining, grab your drain plug, as long as you didn't lose it in your pan, and pull yourself out from under the truck. Go ahead and replace that crush washer if you'd like. Typically I like to replace them every time. They're cheap, they're easy to obtain, 10 cents a piece or something like that. I'll link some down below, and it's pretty easy guys, so just replace it. It's cheap. Save yourself some leaks in the future. Not everybody has leaks, but you know, if you don't want to risk leaks, go ahead and change that. Once your oil is done draining, it's going to drip for hours. So once it's to the drippy point, I don't concern myself too much more about it. I go ahead and pop that drain plug back in and torque it down. The exact specifications I don't know on this truck. I'm going to guess somewhere between 18 and 25 foot-pounds. So if you really want to torque it, my suggestion would be 23 foot-pounds. But do that at your own risk. Look it up, Google it. Tons of information out there. So once you got that drain plug torqued, you're going to go ahead and grab that filter and spin it off. If you can He-Man it off, that's great. If not, there's some tools that will help you. I'll link some down below in the video description. By the way, when I link things from Amazon in the video description, if you click on the link and buy anything within 24 hours, providing you haven't bought or clicked on somebody else's link after mine, I get a small commission of that. That helps a lot. So keep that in mind. I really appreciate it. Also, there is a PayPal and a Zelle link down in the description below as well if you want to donate directly to the channel. Alright, moving on. So if you can get the filter off with your hands, go for it. If you have to use a wrench, use a wrench. Not a big deal. Nobody's faulting you there. And spin it off. This is going to make a mess. It's all going to come flowing out. Just back yourself off for a second, let it drain. Once you have the filter all the way off, I do two things. I check the filter itself and make sure there's a gasket still on it. If it's not, that means it's probably up on the housing. Even if it has the gasket on the filter, I still look at the housing in case the last guy to change the oil didn't check and you got double gaskets up there already. So just check that flat portion of the housing, make sure there's not a gasket on it. Personally, there's a lot of debate on this, and take it as you may. Personally, I like to fill up the new oil filter before I install it on the truck, if at all possible. Any horizontal or vertically mounted filter, I do that. There's debate on there because you're putting oil that's supposedly not filtered into the filter, which means you now have unfiltered oil going through your system. Take that as you may. I really don't care. I fill it up personally, just to eliminate any potential of a dry start when you fire the truck up. So you're going to fill that up, lube the O-ring around it. This makes it a little bit more slippery so that when you tighten the filter into the housing, that gasket doesn't get bound up and pinch itself. It helps it slide around a little bit better and give you a better seal, supposedly. That's what I like to do. It's always worked. So once you have your drain plug back in, you have your filter back in, now you're going to clean up. Now I know some people just like to run it out the door. The reason we clean up here is, one, clean is good. Two, if you don't clean up and then you fire the truck up and look for leaks, it's going to be hard to tell the difference between the leak you created and the leak coming out of the gasket or the bolt. So go ahead and clean it up. Use a rag, use some brake clean, whatever you want to do there, that's up to you, but get it clean. All right, so before we drop this truck down, you may or may not be doing this, I don't know. We're going to do a tire rotation. Tire rotations, in my experience, are pretty helpful because I buy cars that people haven't rotated, and usually the tires are destroyed up front. The backs are usually okay, so if you kind of spread those around, you can extend the life of your tires, and I'm a believer in that. Typically what I do is my first tire rotation, and you can't do this with directional tires, only bi-directional. The first rotation I do, I take the front tires and I cross them to the back opposite corners, and then I take the rear tires and move them straight forward. And then the next tire rotation I just move the front one straight back and the rear one straight forward, and then I just repeat that pattern every time. If you have directional tires, you can't do that. You're going to have to move your fronts to the back and your backs to the front and keep them on the same side of the vehicle, unless you get them mounted and dismounted, but it's a pain in the butt, so and expensive. But that's my style of tire rotation. If you're doing this and you're torquing the lug nuts, our torque specs was 140 foot-pounds. We also took advantage of this time to go ahead and check our tire pressures. We checked all 5, the spare and all 4 corners with a bad air gauge. I'm replacing that air gauge, by the way, because that is not calibrated, and there's no way to calibrate it. It don't look like it, which is annoying. So alright, so once you got your tire rotation done, you're going to drop the truck down and you're going to go ahead and fill up the oil. The manual on this one, the 5.3, calls for 8 quarts, so we dumped 7 in, and then you're going to check it. After that first 7, check your level on the dipstick and make sure you're within the safe zone. If you want to add the 8th quart and you got room for it, go for it. If you don't have room, don't. It's pretty simple. A lot of this depends on, well, how long you let it drain before and where the oil got caught up at. So take it as you will. That's what your dipstick's for. Use your dipstick, guys. We're using SuperTech oil. This is from Walmart. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. I think it's decent oil, and that's what we elected to use on Pastor Matt's truck. Use it what you will. I will link down below. I don't think I can link SuperTech on Amazon, but I'll link my favorite oils, which would be Pennzoil Full Platinum, 100 synthetic or whatever. And then I've been putting Castrol in the Titan lately, and I don't know, it doesn't matter, guys, but I'll link some oil down below for you. I'll link the filter wrench, and all that stuff. So take a look down there. Once you've got your full and you've checked your dipstick, go ahead and run the vehicle for a few minutes. Just turn it on to get that oil all warmed up and moving, and then shut the vehicle down, wait your 15-20 minutes, check your dipstick again before you ride it for the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000, whatever miles you're doing. So that's it, guys. It's a very basic oil change, pretty easy, nothing to be scared about. You can do this. A couple little quick tips I have is, I used to be, well, I'm still very scared of forgetting to fill the oil back up. So I take my oil, my new oil, and I put it on the driver's seat before I even start changing the oil. This ensures that I can't get distracted and start doing things, other things, go play with the kids, help my wife, get on YouTube, whatever I do to distract me. I will not start the vehicle up without noticing the oil on the front seat, so I'll remember to change it. So if you're scared like I am, that's a quick tip that I do. But other than that, guys, super easy oil change. Chevy did it right. They made it very, very easy, and it's nice. So thank you, Chevy. Remember, if you guys like this video, leave a thumbs up, hit the comment section, let me know if I helped you at all or you just enjoyed this video, and let me know what you guys got going on today. I'm stuck up here and on this trail. waiting for the Jeep to cool down and hoping I make it down just fine with no phone. So so the rest of this day might be interesting for me. We'll see. Shouldn't be bad. We didn't overheat. I mean, the coolant was bubbling, but we didn't spill it all out, so it didn't get, it got over 16 psi because it was coming out the radiator cap, but it didn't get much more than that. So hopefully we're all right. We're gonna let her cool down for another 15-20 minutes before we head down the hill. But that's what my day looks like so far. Then we got an appointment for the baby. So let me know what you got going on today in the comments below. It helps the algorithm and all that good stuff too. So tons of videos on the channel, guys. There's always more coming. Stay tuned, stick around. We'll see you later.